and welcome. So, we are given that we have three medians in this triangle. We have AE, BF, and CD, which is those three segments right there. Okay, so we're told we have three medians. Now, this is important because medians mean essentially that you're going from the vertex of a triangle, so like A, B, and C are the vertices of that triangle, and you're going to a midpoint. Okay, so that's what a median is. And we have this really cool property that says when you have all three medians in a triangle, right? When you have all three of these suckers being medians, they meet at a point in the middle. And we call that point a centroid. And it comes up with a really cool kind of property that, let's use, we already have x's in this problem, so I'm going to use, I don't know, a. Okay? If this is some length a, then that means that this is 2a, right? So that means that the shorter segment is half of the long one, or the longer, or yes, I almost said that backwards there. So the shorter segment is half of the long one, or you can say the long one is double the shorter segment, right? So that means that you can take this shorter one, double it, you end up here. Or you can take this long one, half it, end up there. Okay, so do keep that in mind when we have stuff like this going on. Okay, and that's true for every one of these segments. So this is half of that one. This is half of that one, right? And it'll be true for all of these. Okay, so first thing we're given is we're given the length from D to M. All right, this length right there is going to be 4x minus 4. Okay, then we're told that the length from M to C, which is that length right there, is 6x plus 0, which is just a very fancy way to just say 6x. Okay, and then from there, you were told to first find x. Not a problem, super easy. Okay, so we know, was what we just talked about, is that property where this is going to be half of the larger segment, so that means that 4x minus 4 equals half of that larger segment. Or you could say that you could double the smaller segment to equal the larger one. Either of these will work. Okay, personally, I kind of like using multiplication more than division, so I'm going to go with multiplication. Doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. You'll get the same answer either way. Alright, so I'm going to distribute that 2 through. So 8x minus 8 equals 6x. And then from there, you're just solving for x's. For x, you just want to get all of your x's on the same side. Right, so I'm going to subtract 8x to move it over. Alright, so we get negative 8 equals 6 minus 8, negative 2. Alright, so we have negative 8 equals negative 2x. And then you just finish solving for x. Get it alone, right? It's being multiplied to x. How do you undo multiplication? Division. Divide by negative 2, both sides, and we get x equals 4. Because negative 8 divided by negative 2 is 4. There is your answer for x. Bam. Done. Okay, now if you want to start finding the lengths of these segments, okay, from there you could say, all right, well, here dm is that little gem right there. So we know what x is, plug it in. Then we have 4 times 4 minus 4. So we have 16 minus 4, which is 12. There's the length of dm. mc we also know is 6x, so plug in 4. So 6 times 4, 24. And the entire length of this segment from D to C has to be dm and mc combined, so it will just be 12 plus 24. In other words, 36. Okay? Now, if you started this without any kind of expressions, if you're just working with the numbers, you'll notice that we have this single, double, triple relationship, right? Where we have, let me erase everything on the triangle to make it really obvious here. Okay, we found dm to be 12, mc to be 24, and the whole thing to be 36. Okay, so essentially, if you have just this little portion, that's just the first number that you have, right? The longer portion is double the smaller, and you'll notice that the entire portion is going to be triple the smaller. So, for example, let's just grab this with random numbers. Let's look at a different segment in the triangle. Okay, let's say what if scenario. Okay, I'll just write there. What if? Okay, what if this segment was 2? Automatically, you would know that is 4 and the whole thing is 6. Or if you know that this is 4, okay, then you know that this is going to be double the smaller, so half of 4 would be 2, right? And you can go from there. Or if you knew this was 7 and you wanted to know what's the whole thing, well, it would have to be triple that, so it would have to be 3 times 7, or in other words, 21 would be the whole thing. Okay, so when you're working with just straight numbers, you always will have this property where it's the smaller length. It's just going to be whatever that is, right? That smaller length. The longer length is double. The whole thing will be triple that smaller length. Okay, and that will always, 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 always be true when you have 3 medians intersecting to make the centroid. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for watching.